Hello, hello, hello. It is April 23rd, and we are at the second coaching call of the month. So April 23rd, we're talking about money manifestation, journaling. So this is a live class. However, a lot of you guys may see it on the replay. I am Dr. Roche, the Doctor of Rethinking. I am your rethinking instructor to help you to rethink some things. So on this month, we talked about mental health and journaling and how journaling is so important and how it can change our lives. However, now today we're going to talk about money manifestation because everybody wants more money. However, people are not always bringing money inside of their lives. And so we want to figure out ways to make sure you can be abundant when it comes down to money. So it's important to remember, and this is always the case, that this course is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. You always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health providers with any questions you may have regarding your health. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have read, seen, or heard within this course. That's extremely important. I am definitely a psychologist and a financial coach, and I can give you some tools. However, I am not the one who we're not in a therapeutic relationship as we would be if we were in a consented situation, one-on-one therapy. So because that's not the case, you definitely need to always consult another psychiatrist, another psychologist for specific professional diagnosis and treatment. So today we're going to talk about money manifestation and journaling. So let's go into it. So I like to start every session. I'm about to get comfortable and get it together. And I want you guys to always do the same thing. Every session should be started with mindfulness. I believe mindfulness is what actually helps us to be able to focus on new information. So we're going to go through it as quick as possible. When there's not a lot of people on, I like the fact that everybody can watch the replay, and I don't want replays to be too long. I think it's very hard to watch something for an hour when you're not actually actively interactive with it. So we're going to try to make this at least a 20-minute session, and then I will stop the recording, and then those who are online can ask specific questions. Actually, I'll let everybody, whoever's online, to actually ask questions in advance. And still be on the recording. However, at any given time, those who are watching the replay, you guys can stop it before the question and answer, unless that person has a question and you need to answer that they had as well. So let's go ahead and get comfortable in our seat. Woo! All right, and we're going to breathe in through our nose. We're going to fill our bellies with with air like a balloon. We're going to hold it for 3 seconds. We're going to blow out through our mouths. We're going to repeat this for 5 times and end in an ask and a prayer. I like to say is just a quick ask and prayer. Just say, keep me, lead me, and guide me, Lord. And whatever the situation, whatever conversation, whatever topic that we're talking about. So let's go. Get comfortable. Breathe in through your nose. Hold it and out through your mouth. And breathe in through your nose and hold it and out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose and hold it and out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose, hold it and out through your mouth. One more time, breathe in through your nose. Hold it a little while longer and out through your mouth. And so, Lord, we ask you right now to keep us, lead us, and guide us when it comes down to our money and changing our money mindset and changing our money patterns. All right, so on the agenda today, we're going to talk about money shame, gratitude, keeping money on you, visualization and affirmations. And then, of course, I'm going to have question and answer that is always available. So money shame, let's talk about it. So money shame, beliefs, who are your models, and what are your limiting beliefs? So a lot of times we often have shame when it comes down to money. And when I really look at that, and that's why I wanted to talk a lot about it, is because I sit down with a lot of people doing financial coaching, and there's so many people who have a lot of shame around money. They don't want to talk about their money. But if we don't talk about our money and talk about our patterns, how do we stop them? How do we interrupt them? Right? So we have to be open and honest with, like, man, I make good money. Maybe I don't make enough money, could be part of the shame. But maybe I make good money and I don't treat my money correctly. I have a bad relationship with money, right? Those are some things that can come up when it comes down to money shame. We have a relationship, the way we have relationships with the family, relationship with friends, relationship with partner, we also have a relationship with money. And so, do you treat your money right? Do you do what's right by your money? How do you put your money in your purse? I had a good friend when we were younger. She used to crumble money up, $20 bill, and throw it in her purse once we were done, when she got change from $100 bill, or maybe even $1, just crumble it up in her purse. And there was so many other things in her purse that I was like, girl, you're not even gonna be able to find your money, right? Is that how you treat your money? Because that's a relationship. Do you want somebody else to crumble you up and just throw you without knowing where you are? Let's think about that relationship, right? It's important for you to, straighten out your money, feel good about your money, be grateful when you have the money, when you see your money, and you give time and energy into your money. That's how money can continue to increase and can continue to grow. In here, I have beliefs, and you may see limiting beliefs too, but beliefs. What are your beliefs about money? And so these are the questions to think about. Money is. Complete that sentence. It's called a sentence completion, right? So repeat and complete. Money is what? So you want to think about that. I want you to do that for yourself. Money is amazing, right? Money is plentiful, right? Or you may be saying something that's more negative about money. Money, comes and goes, right? Money is the root of all evil. We're going to talk about a couple of things later, right? So what are some negative things? And there goes another thing to think about. Money means for me what? What does money mean for you? And we all have different things about what money means, right? Money means that I have access to opening other doors, right? Because money can give you access. Money can give you opportunity to be able to, of course, purchase clothes and different things like that. But it can give you opportunity to go to school. Money can give you opportunity to go to a conference. Money can give you opportunity to have therapy. Money can give you an opportunity to get financial advising. It can open up doors for you, right? However, you may think something different when it comes down to money. So what does money mean for you? I want you to take the time to think about that and say, hey, I got to figure out, what does money really mean for me? And then going further, so that's just the first part. Those are your beliefs. When it comes down to models, who modeled money to you? Who modeled money for you? In the 7 Days to Empower You course, that's also you have within your Rethinking Self, I talk about models a little bit. Was your mother a good spender, or was she a saver? Who was your father? Right? Sometimes you can come from a great family where they made good money, but they may have also spoiled you and made you very entitled unintentionally, and that you can be very wasteful with your money because money was so much in abundance. However, you may be in a place that you may waste money just because you're not used to seeing money and having money. And so it's actually a part of your being to always think that you're broke. You feel broke, right? We were actually talking on the station not too long ago about feeling broke, but all your bills are paid. If all your bills are paid and you have some savings, then you're definitely not broke. That's like the next level, to have savings. But even if you just had all your bills paid, that's not broke because all your bills are paid, right? So we have to stop saying certain things to ourselves and labeling things like, oh, I'm broke, I don't have it. Because what's going to happen is that we're ultimately telling the world, the universe, God, our faith, our levels of doubt, to make sure that we don't have. And that's not what we're looking for. We're trying to increase abundance within our lives. So I want you to look at the models. Who are the people in your life who showed you about money, who told you about money, who you just saw, saw with their money and they just didn't do right by their money? Who were those people? How did they manage it? And then how did you pick up some of those habits? Some that you may have picked up, some of them you may have left alone. But take some time to really think about that. Now, limiting beliefs, right? So a belief naturally is not anything wrong. That's why there's beliefs and limiting beliefs. Having your belief is good to understand where you're coming from. But a limiting belief is something that is holding us back. And we never want to be in a position that we're getting held back by the way that we're thinking. So here goes some ways to figure out, what are some of your limiting beliefs? You can also repeat and complete. I'm not financially free because. I'm not financially free because. Now, everybody has different becauses. But I want you guys to make sure you guys take out like a notebook and you guys are writing these things down, or that you actually have the dream journal. And in the dream journal, where there's like after 5 deep breaths and reflection, you guys can write down some of those things. I'm not financially free because I don't make enough money and I never will. Is that something that you're thinking? I want to start a business, but I don't know how, and I'm never going to learn. What is the reason why you're not financially free? The next thing that you have is I'd love to have more money, but. I'd love to have more money, but. Like, think about that. But what? I would love to have more money, but somebody told me once that money just is like magic and it disappears. Do you feel like your money is just like magic? It just seems like there's never enough, right? Those are some of those limiting beliefs. Let's go into a couple of more limiting beliefs. I got these statements from Micro Thumb. I just took a couple of them that he had, but he's like, money is the root of all evil. Sometimes people will think money is the root of all evil, so they will not try to get more of it because they think it's evil, right? Money is not important. It's only money. People say that a lot of times, like, it's only money. And I'm like, well, money as a whole is very important to me. It's not only money to me, right? But have you identified with some of these statements and ever thought about these statements? The rich get richer and the poor gets poorer, right? Do you want to live in the rich lane or do you want to live in the poor lane? Sometimes we're so used to being poor and always struggling that we have decided to not think well of those who have money, as if they did something wrong to achieve their money. Right? But we have to really get into this place that abundance. Maybe we don't want to say rich, but we want to say abundance. I want to live abundantly. I want to be able to live prosperous, and I don't want to have to worry about money, right? That's what rich feels like. A lot of people say this, I'm just not that good with money. That limits your belief because you can become good with money. You can become great with money. And so once you say that to yourself, I'm not good with money, what happens? You don't even try. You don't even try to be better than what you are. So that's something that we really want to take into account. A lot of times people will feel it's selfish to want a lot of money. I don't want to be selfish to want a lot of money. But money opens, remember I said money is access. So it opens up doors for you to be able to bless other people. So I love to be blessed with a lot of money. And I know that I'm going to continue to be blessed with more and more money because of the thoughts that I believe that I'm going to do with the money. I see real estate for the community. I see even you all who are listening right now, and you're part of my membership site. I believe and I declare that there will be a person that's on my membership site who's saying, I want to live richer. I want to own my own business, but I don't have the capital to get started. And guess what? I'm going to have a scholarship program. You're going to tell me your story and you're going to tell me what you need exactly. And I'm going to say, okay, well, let me know. I'm going to make that happen for you. There was somebody I met. She's part of my membership site, but said that she wanted a group home for kids. Well, I want to be the one who has the house that helps you get started within your group home. Do you hear me? So that's what I desire That's what I desire to continue to have. So more money gives me more availability to bless other people. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about gratitude. I call it to walk into the my cup runneth over mentality. If you guys have checked out the thinking segment, training your mind, that's in the mental health segment, you may see that I talk about the cup is half full, the cup is half empty. A person who sees the cup is half empty is very pessimistic, very negative, always looking at what's missing in my life. Why isn't it here? Why is this not here? So you may have a job and you may be making $30,000 a year, but because you're not making $100,000, all you can see is, why is my 70? Why can't I ever make 70? But that you forget to be excited and grateful for the fact that you have a job and that you also are making $30,000. We have to stay in a state of gratefulness for those situations, right? That's extremely important. You got to stay grateful for any and everything that comes into your life, okay? So that is the cup is half empty, but the person whose cup is half full is the one who's able to be a little bit more optimistic. And that optimistic person is saying, well, at least I got $30,000. I can see what is working well in my life, right? But I like to go a little step further, and I call it the my cup runneth over mentality. So I like to say, don't even say, hey, I got a job and I make $30,000, but I want you to say, I got a roof over my head. Let's go even further to be grateful. I want to go to the next level, and I want to say, but the Lord is about to bless me with more abundance within my life, right? The Lord is reducing certain bills that's coming in my life. So even though I don't make as much as I want to, my bills are not as high as other people. I need you to continue to have a cup runneth over mentality, right? And that even though if I'm a good steward over the money that I make now, God is going to bless me with more money. I remember when he did that before. I remember when he did when he did that in 1999. I remember when he did it in 2005. I remember yesterday when I came upon a quarter and I was grateful that God put something else in my life. I was grateful when there's some grateful things that just happened to me today, and it's a bad situation. Let me just tell y'all real quick. I went to Pieology. And and you guys know you create your whole pizza, and after you create your pizza, you have to wait until the pizza is completed. Well, it was about time. It was a lot of pizza, a lot of going on. It took 30 minutes. Normally it doesn't take as long, but I was sitting there waiting for my pizza, and I knew that I had this call coming up. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead, eat that pizza real quick, and get on my call. But guess what happened? Something that was unexpected and I did not like. But what ended up happening is the person behind me got her pizza before me. She was like, oh, but they had a pizza up there. It's probably yours. I stood up to get the pizza, and that pizza fell in the garbage can. Not my fault, but their fault. Not my fault, but their fault. And so, hey, pessimistic, cup is half empty. I need my pizza and I'm hungry, right? Optimistic is like, well, what they end up saying is like, we can give you a free pizza for next time, or you can get back in line and start all over, right? That was not good customer service. Let me just put that out there. But I could have just been optimistic and been grateful for the fact that I got my pizza, got a free pizza that I'm able to get for the next time I come. No. But that wasn't good enough. I have a cup runneth over mentality, and I have a cup runneth over expectation. Give me something more, right? Don't just give me that was just breaking even to what I came in with. But you didn't give me any compensation for the 30 minutes that I wasted waiting on a pizza, right? And so what ended up happening is that they ended up moving to the next level. They actually gave me the opportunity and gave me an additional free pizza. So when I go back, I'll have, of course, the putting me back at the even state, but I'll have an additional free pizza that I'm able to go get, right? That's a cup runneth over mentality and a cup runneth over expectation. Okay, let's talk about affirmations and visualizations. So you have to understand that in order to bring more money in your life, you have to visualize more money happening, right? And I'm going to go over the affirmations, but I want to speak a little bit to this visualization. I want you to take the time right now, since you're listening, and you can take about 5 minutes. Don't take so long. You don't have to, because I know everybody's busy. They don't have a lot of time, but you want to visualize just for 5 minutes and say, If I had whatever amount of money that you were hoping to have, if I had an extra $50,000 then, what would change in your life, right? Would you be dressing differently? Would you have be in a position to start to purchase a home? Would you be buying a new car? I need you to visualize what that is. And in the visualization, I want you to start to feel it coming true for you. You have to visualize and make sure that you feel like it's going to come true. Okay. And then we're going to move into the affirmations, but I need you to do the 5-minute visualization. You know, when I think about more abundance in my life, like I say, I think about, wow, I just gave so-and-so this. I just gave a kid a scholarship. Like every month, my spirit, it says every month I give somebody a scholarship to school to go over to college, because those things happen to me. I don't know where the money came from, but it happened for me. So I want that to be able to happen for other people, right? So I want to visualize giving that. I visualize being able to purchase a home for my family, right? For multiple family members, right? For my sister cousins, my brother cousins, that I'm able to own, but I'm able to let them live in. See, these are things that I visualize to make sure money comes into my life. Affirmations. Here goes a couple of affirmations that I want you guys to, read them all and take the ones that feel the best for you. But one of my favorites ones is that money comes to me easily and effortlessly. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly. There's nothing that I have to do. I don't have to work extremely hard. Money's going to come. There's been multiple times in my life that I have just said, hey, I want to know when, especially when I left my job, where am I going to get my mortgage? And an opportunity. Let me let you know that when you say money comes to you easily and effortlessly, a lot of times it's not just money that falls out of the sky. Somebody saying, here, it goes $500. But sometimes somebody will give you an opportunity that can lead you to the $500. They can say, hey, Roche, I got a speaking engagement for you and I'm going to pay you $1,000. You see what I'm saying? They may say that, and that's where my $1,000 came from. But it became easily and effortlessly because it's who I am and it's something natural for me to do, right? It could be somebody coming in and say, oh, you want to do this? Boom, I got you, right? So money comes easily and effortlessly. Make sure you look for it. Where is my money coming from today? How is money going to come for me today? Another one that I really like too, we're going to go to the next part, but it says, I am worthy of making more money. Worthy. A lot of times we are holding money back because we just don't believe we're worth making that much money. We don't believe our gifts are that strong to be making that much money, right? And then I like this other one that says, I'm a magnet for money. Magnet, look, there goes some money right there. There goes some money right there, okay? And so these are some things to keep on to say to yourself. I'm open and receptive to the wealth that life offers me, right? I love these things. I'm aligned with the energy of abundance, okay? And as you do these affirmations, the next part you want to do is keep money on you. I want you to even keep money in certain places. So I'm a big proponent that money draws money. My mom has said it to me ever since I was younger, that money draws money. So those with money, you may know, continue to make some. Those with it continue, just money just keeps on coming. And I believe that these are some things that you can do, some strategies to continue to have money drawing money. So I want you to get like a couple of envelopes. I like envelopes in particular. And I want you to place money certain places. Your purses from the past, that they just have an extra $1, $2, $5. Have you ever just come up into looking for a purse and all of a sudden you're like, oh, there goes $20 bill in there, right? It's kind of that feeling like money draws money. Hey, I'm in abundance, and boom, I just looked in here and I found another $5. Keep money on you. My business coach suggests keeping $100 on you all the time. And as you find another $100, adding that on you. And I really like that. I started doing that exercise maybe about 2 years ago, and then more hundreds start to come. Keeping money on you. But I've always been a proponent of keep a $20 on you. Keep $20 somewhere in your house. Never ever be broke. Never ever not have the ability to put your hands on some income. Keep your money on you. Money draws money. Okay, so I want to speak before we go into questions and answer real quick. I want to do the offline questions because I got some really great offline questions from one of our members, and I want to make sure that I speak to those that did the offline questions, and then I'm going to allow it to be done. And then from here, you have the option to keep on listening for anybody who has any additional questions going forward. If anybody has jumped on at this particular point. But I love doing these sessions, and I know a lot of people are not participating just yet, but I believe, I visualize, I see when it's going to be multiple people on the call. And that's why I'm giving this opportunity for all of you guys now while we are already at only 50 members. Because see, what happens is that naturally only 10% of whoever is, of the members come on these kind of calls. I've done my research, right? So on average, only about 5 people would show up on a call like this. I switched them over to Mondays, and so I'm going to see if that gives a little bit more participation. But either way it goes, if people just watch on the replay, it still wins. You're able to do it 24/7 access to when you need this information, and this information may not be pertinent to you at this very moment, but your money is about to come towards you. And so now it's going to be pertinent for you, pertinent and important for you later. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about these questions real quick. Offline questions. So one person asks, I was taught there is good debt and bad debt. What is your take on it? So yes, there is good debt and there's bad debt. So for instance, good debt would be debt that would still like appreciate, compared to bad debt would be debt that depreciates, right? So let's talk about kind of like assets versus liabilities. So an asset is something that is bringing money into your life or has the potential to bring income into your life, while a liability is something that takes money away from you. So let's talk about 2 main things that tend to people sometimes reference. So an important asset that you have is a house. Owning a house, owning property is an asset. When you're living in the house, it's technically a debt as well. It's still a liability because you're still paying on it. You don't own the home just yet. And so it's not an asset until you have equity. And what that means is say you purchase your house for $300,000, but now it is worth $500,000. So you have $200,000 worth of equity. So it doesn't really completely become an asset until you sell the home and get that extra $200,000. Right now, you may be paying $2,000 a month, but that means money is going out of your pocket. That means it's ultimately a liability. So a liability is debt, right? So if you still owe $250,000 on that $300,000 home when you first bought it, $250,000 is considered debt. But it's considered a good debt because it's a debt that can also pay you. And it also has an opportunity that even if you didn't pay that $250,000 off, if you sold your home, you would still end up receiving money. So that is considered a good debt, okay? Bad debt, on the other hand, would be practically everything else. So bad debt would be your car, right? Something that's going to depreciate. It doesn't have value anymore. So that's a bad debt to be holding on to you. That would be like credit cards. Credit cards, very bad debt for you to have on you because it's a debt that is always constantly increasing, right? So you put $100 on a credit card, but you have 20% APR, annual percentage rate. So next month, you had $100, but now you paid $120 for it. So extra $20 thrown on it, let's say. Right. And if that continues to happen, APR doesn't actually go that like specific, but it's almost as if like you had $100 and now you pay $120 and then you didn't pay it again. Now you went to $140. Right. And that's considered bad debt because it's debt that's like ever increasing. Right. So that would be considered a bad debt. Student loan debt. Let's talk about that. Student loan debt is not necessarily, it could be a good debt, possibly certain situations. But it's a debt, right? It's something that you owe, but however, you may have invested in yourself to actually obtain a degree. So that could be considered a good debt. It's like it was a good thing to get into, to have a debt that actually is going to increase your bottom line. For instance, I have a debt, of course, of student loans for getting my doctorate degree. However, getting my doctorate degree increased my bottom line significantly, right? So that could be considered a good debt. So good debt is something that's going to add value to your life, while bad debt is something that has already taken value out of your life and will continue to take value out of your life over time. So let's talk about the next question. I struggle with telling people no on borrowing money. They really be in need of money for medication and different things like that. How do I break the cycle? So one thing that I really loved, I actually learned from my pastor, Bishop Keith Clark, that you may hear me on KMEL. He talked about do not sow in irresponsibility. Do not sow in irresponsibility. And there are a couple of things. I grew up in a family where a lot of people do want to ask for money and all that kind of stuff. So here goes some practical advice that you can use. First thing first, the main thing that you do when you make your money in the month is you allocate where your money's supposed to go to first. I believe in 10% going to Jesus, charity, whatever that is, giving out to someone. Now, this giving out to someone is not based on somebody needing medication and has been mismanaging their money. This 10% I personally believe is in investing into something into good soil. So if you go to a good church, they're feeding the hungry, they're doing something like that, you want to put it in good soil. If there's a charity, I don't know, cure for cancer, whatever the case is, hey, you want to put it in good soil. So 10% going into good soil that is going to add value to the world. Another 10% needs to go into your savings account. So you should have some money stacked away in your savings account. Another 10%, the third level of your 10%, should be going to your fund money. So allocate it for your enjoyment of life, whether that is going for self-care, a spa day, whether that's going to the movies to enjoy time with your friends, a social life, whether that's going out to eat. So that's what you need to do. The other 70% is supposed to go to your bills. All right, so that's the main way that you want to do it. Now, once all those things are covered, let's say 10 is already given to charitable, 10 is given to your savings, 10 is also given, you also have a little bit of fund money that you're planning on using. And let's say your bills only come to 60%. Let's say you paid all your bills and you still got money left over after all of those things. If that is the case, then that is money that is open and available for somebody else that you may want to give to them to allow them to borrow. I used to tell my foster youth when I used to work with foster youth is when you make money, $10 should be in one pocket and then the other $100 should be in the other pocket. You have to decide how much money am I willing to allow somebody to have, not borrow. I don't believe in borrowing because borrowing causes difficulties and frictions within relationships. So you need to be okay with somebody having a certain amount of money. Getting your money back is considered bonus time. That's a bonus. But you need to be okay with somebody being okay with giving somebody that money. You have to decide what that amount is for you. When I was younger, that amount was $10. When I got a little older, it became $20. So somebody asked me for $20 and they didn't pay me back my $20, I was okay with it after a while, right? As I got even older, $100. Hey, somebody don't give me that $100 back, I'm blessed enough to be okay with it, and I won't have an attitude with you. I won't feel like you stank when you don't give it back to me. I'm not going to think nothing of it. I ain't going to look at your life and look at what you traveling, buying stuff. I'm not going to worry about it. But there is a certain amount of money that causes you to have an issue. Whatever that amount is, you need to decide what that is for yourself. Okay? And if that, we look through all your bills, you got savings, you got, like I said, all your bills are paid, you got savings, you giving out to a good soil, and you have some extra money, and say it's $100 at the end of the month. If you have $100 left at the end of the month, then and let's say 5 people are asking you for money. If that first person asks you for 100, then you ain't got no more for the rest. But if that first person asks you for 20, well, you'd be like, all right, well, the next person that asks me, they might be able to get some. But you need to have that idea. We can't allow other people to be the ones who manage our money for us, right? They can't be counting our coins, and they can't be utilizing our coins for their own budget, right? So they're able to budget ourselves. So what's extremely important for all people is that you really want to you really, you really need to just have an idea of how much you're willing to let somebody borrow. Another thing is that you can always have money, but don't share with other people that you have. Don't be, of course, boastful about it. That's a negative way of being, but don't be so free caring with telling people that I got it, I'm winning, I got a good job. None of those things. People don't even need to know you don't have it. They should think that you're as broke as they are. Okay. And that'll help you in understanding when to say no. It doesn't mean that it's always a no, but once you recognize, hey, I got $100, that's all I give to people. Once somebody has already gotten that $100, let's say a child has already said, hey, mama, I really need $100 for whatever the reason is. The next person that comes to you, you just don't have it because you've already given away your budget allotment for family funds. Okay. So that's how you break the cycle. You get clear on how much you need, how much you're willing to give. And that's not going to hurt your mindset around people. And you only give up to that amount. Next question is, why is there so much stigma in the Black community on getting counseling? Well, I mean, there's a lot of reasons for this, but when it comes down to medications and everything like that, there's been a history historically with African Americans that we get mistreated from the medical professions. And overall, there's not been a lot of Black professions. Right now, I'm actually going to go to Washington, D.C. in a couple of months up in June for the Henson Foundation, which is Taraji P. Henson's foundation. And she really speaks to the fact that when she was looking for therapy and needing therapy, she had a very difficult time finding a Black therapist. In the beginning, because therapy was not considered a thing, because all we ever did was ignore or avoid our symptoms, or everybody else around us had the same symptoms, so we normalized. So it's either ignore or avoid them. I'm aware of it and I'm ignoring it, I'm avoiding them. I normalize it like, hey, well, she's sad too, I'm sad too. Maybe this is life, right? Life is rough for her, life is rough for me, and maybe that's just what's supposed to happen. So we normalize it. And then the third thing is we go to church, we pray about it. And we weren't really given any other additional options on how to manage and how to break through some of those things. And because that's been the case, a lot of us haven't learned how to express our emotions and how to go to someone else to get support around our emotions. So that's been like really like the stigma within the Black community in particular on getting counseling. And it takes a lot of time. And that's why I'm just so excited to have this continue to grow, because I want to give people opportunity to like break that stigma. I've been on the radio for 6 years now, and my pastor and I have integrated spirituality and mental health. When me and him were first initially doing integration of spirituality and mental health, it was not being done. And that was just 6 years ago. It was not being done. When I tell you, there were not people like nowadays, they got people trying to have like biblical talks in churches. But me and my pastor have been doing this just 6 years ago, and it wasn't being done. But now there's a big push towards mental health and making sure people go to therapy and make sure people go to counseling. But a lot of times we haven't found people who are relatable. I know there was a great one of our members who said, wow, like I wrote down and visualized having a therapist who was Black, who was relatable, who was from Oakland. I mean, just all these things. And then she met me like, oh, wait, I could go to therapy if that is the type of therapist that I could be around. However, traditionally, it's always been a therapist that doesn't look like you and doesn't understand your struggle the same way. And therefore, you have to explain too many things. So that's definitely why there's been a stigma within the Black community on getting counseling. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that's the end. Oh, let me tell you about these cash flow opportunities real quick. And then I'm going to open it up. So I'm actually going to stop it and then open it up for anybody who wants to ask questions and take up the time as much as needed. Cash flow opportunities. So I believe that there's always important to make additional income. I have a couple of opportunities that I like to utilize for myself to make extra income, and I think everybody else should utilize them too. What you can do is just reply back to emails. You can contact me, whatever it is. But I have on at 6 o'clock, this is 9 p.m. Eastern time, but at 6 o'clock California time, everybody's in different places, but Pacific Standard Time, you can learn how to trade from your phone. Trading has been so exciting for me. It's been so much fun. I've been learning so much around it. And I'm really excited about moving forward when it comes down to trading. And if you would like to learn it, you don't need any experience. There's expert analysis. People will tell you, hey, this is what you need to do. One thing that I learned that I'm very gifted in is making complex things very simple. So if it's something that you're interested in, they have these things called enter and exit strategies called swipe trades, and you can copy and paste them. It's awesome. Another level is if you're looking for an opportunity, you can become a financial coach. I, in the process, I help and train you. I always say, stay on me. If you want to get my time, you got to stay on me to get my time, because I definitely move and shake quite a bit. So if you're interested in any of those opportunities, make sure that you always check in with me, and I will let you know what's going on. So, all right. I hope you guys all have a great, evening. And anytime you're watching this replay, hit me up. Let me know how you loving it, how you loving the different courses. I love when I get testimonials about how things are going and how they're continue to work. That gives you an extra raffle ticket to get into everything that I'm doing. So love it. Love you guys. Have a great night.